Well, I gotta make them so big and heavy for. It's a bit gloomy out here today, but thankfully, temperatures are wonderful. It's 60-something degrees, I'd say. A pleasant break from what we've been dealing with. And thankfully so, because today is everything day at the gym. We got a 4-wheel brake pad replacement on this beautiful Ford F-250 Super Duty. As you can see, we got oversized wheels, we got extra lug nuts, we got all of it. So we got our bolt buster right here on the ground. We're about to set up and get it done. Today we'll be installing some high quality brake pads. My favorite on vehicles that will accept them. Bendix Fleet Metlock is a severe duty brake pad, metallic. Comes with a burnishing compound on them on many of the SKUs, not all of them. Dependent. Also sold as police and military grade. What I can tell you is they don't cost too much money. That's everything I like to see in a brake pad right there. So the burnishing compound there helps me with quick turnover on this service. The things will bed themselves in just fine, and they'll help smooth out imperfections in the old rotor and get it back on the road quiet. Shim, super beefy. I forget how many layers they say that is. Hell, it appears to just be one. Can't be true. But it's on there and solid. And this is also good anti-corrosive stuff. Hardware kit, hardcore. Notice how not high-pitched the dingly noises are. So, nice, fat, chunky stuff. Biggest deal with this vehicle is getting it up in there and getting these wheels off safely. So, let me get everything prepared and slot that in. Well, I gotta make them so big and heavy for. Got that off of there, no problem. Now we're staring this down. Old, but there's no ridge at all. I wonder if that means the pad goes beyond the outside of the rotor there. Pads themselves, I've seen a lot worse. They're thin enough though. This will make it quieter. We'll get these cleaned up, them slide pins moving. Let's just knock this thing out. Not sure what the weather's going to do out here at the moment. If I get down to what they ask, then I can regroup. But not too bad. Again, hardest thing about doing one of these so far is getting the damn wheels and tires off of it. Let's proceed. All right. We're making this one fast and furious on the timing here, but you know what? They're not terribly nasty for me to have to spend much time. That new hardware is in there looking beefy. Here's what's coming out. There was some life left. Okay, I've seen a hell of a lot worse for certain. But we'll stack both of those together and compare them to the new pad. That's pretty similar. So let's put the Mega Beast beef on it. The Bendix Fleet Metlock. FE friction coefficient. Let's get this installed. Okay, that right there wasn't too terribly stubborn, and boy does that look meaner and fatter. Slide pins weren't stuck. Foreskins did okay on the dual piston calipers. I had to improvise and use my wind back tool. I still have not replaced my dual piston caliper tool yet. Dummy me. But at least I have good quality tools to improvise with. I mean, it can be done a number of ways. But I am certain that right there, that nice mean stuff is going to stop quieter and smoother than such as this. Now granted, proud of the client. Extremely proud. This just means it's regular time to do a brake job and nobody was in danger. Awesome work, dude. You'll be happy. That pedal is going to feel different, I promise. Corner number 2 is up off the ground and we're ready to begin. Very easy to service this style of brakes, really, all things considered. Biggest thing I don't like is all them damn lug nuts. Seems like enough for 2 cars on each wheel. Hurt my finger pretty good too. I was jacking this thing up, my rod slid out of that. I mean, I cracked my hand between that exhaust pipe and that rod pretty good. So you can see where it's all red. I didn't bust nothing. But, ouch. Made a particularly hollow crack sound. We'll see how much swelling is involved with that later. But as of the moment, I can put pressure on things with it, so it's just a flesh wound. Let's continue to get this done before this rain washes me away. 2 corners down, still got to prime this one up. Nice fat pads, looking way better. Marked, Willie Jenkins, 12 of 23. Marked my caliper bolts, cleaned them up, lubricated the slides. Boots still in good condition. Customer asked if any of this brown was to be worried about. I was like, no, this is a dry, almost 20-year-old pickup truck. Yeah, you got some brown on your muffler and some heat shields and stuff. This is not rusted out. That frame is A-okay. And the brown on them brakes is dark brown, not bright red. This is just the result of how long it's been in action. And again, if it's not quiet enough, then we'll get some rotors coming. But visible signs look like we're going to get away with this just fine. Anyway, I know that pedal feel better and it stopped harder now. Let's get this wheel on it and figure out how the hell we lift the front of this truck. Ford's always like that. They don't give me a low enough spot. We'll get there. The front side of things where it gets bigger and beefier. Thankfully, it's a very similar dual piston caliper, just has a bigger, meaner looking bracket. Should be relatively easy to service just like the back was. Again, we got thin enough brown tire pads. There's still some left. We got a rotor that first inspection looks acceptable enough. There's meat there, I know that. No big deep ridges. I don't see any flower pattern. Again, old, but should do the job just fine. So, relatively quick to blast out these bolts. Get these pads out of here and get the new set hung on it. I'm excited to see how decrepit these look. I don't think they're Crypt Keeper, but they're going to be bad enough. And what's going on is as mean as I can do it without... Well, this is mean as I can do it. I don't know that we get any more out of anything worse. Anyhow, on with progress. This one right here was a little tougher, but once I got things moving, wasn't too bad. Of course, still working without my dual piston caliper tool, so I'm using my rear parking brake windback tools to approximate such a thing. You see how we got it together? Brake pads are on, so now it's a simple matter of slipping that caliper back over there and bolting it up. I'm going to do some brushing and some cleaning. Looks like I got a call coming in. Let me answer that. It's all signed and dated and looking clean and fat and ready to apply friction to a rotor and turn kinetic energy into thermal energy and stop a truck. So that's all done and good. Got that cleaned up nice. Slide pin's good. No issues detected. One more to go, and then we're done on the gym part of the day anyway. More inspections on things to do, but one more corner, then we got it. All right, we've got corner number 4 up in the air finally. Hey, folks, don't never jack one up that way. There's a jack stand under. Don't worry. We do what we got to do sometimes, though. Time to knock this one out as quickly as possible. I got less than 30 minutes before it starts getting real dark out here, and it sure feels like rain. But shouldn't be too bad and hard. Let's get this one blasted. The long part of working on this truck is getting the damn wheels and tires off of it. Continue. Racing the sun and the weather, but we got that one apart. All the hardware was still here. I dropped that last little clip. But as you can see, I've seen a lot worse brake pads, but I've seen a lot better set in the kit ready to go on it. So, simple matter of getting loose my caliper mashers again, get this cleaned up, get the hardware in. Got to rock and roll with it this time, folks. Damn near dark out here. The lights are on. But you know what else is on? The brakes on the truck. Looks great. All I got to do now, double check. Yep, she's marked. Double check. Yep, she's marked. Willie Jenkins, December of 2023. Let's put the wheel back on this truck. Let's get it off these jacks. Let's go take it for a test drive and begin the bed-in procedure. Woo! Been a long one, folks. Ready to see it through. All right, folks. Well, you can see I got it done right in time for the setting sun and the first raindrop to hit my cheek. Folks, I can't stand here to claim that I understand why somebody wants a truck like this, but this one's a damn good one for what it is. Runs and drives real good. As good as it's going to with a tire set that big on it. I mean, that's always going to have a severe adverse effect on perceived torque and ride quality. So she's a little bouncy. But I tell you what, it does real good, and that's stop. I got no questions about the stopping ability of the vehicle now. Of course, as usual, I just took the customer telling me what was up and didn't test drive it first. I imagine it feels quite a bit different than it did when I began. So we're going to check all 40 lug nuts on it, make sure they're all tight, again, just to be sure. And then we're going to let the customer know about an extended break-in period. Now, really not much of one on these with the burnishing compound pre-applied. That don't make no noise and it's smooth right away. That being said, 30 slowdowns from 30 miles per hour down to 5 miles per hour without a complete stop. Then giving 30 seconds to 1 minute in between for cooling time is a great way to get the quietest and best braking action out of these. And in this neighborhood, in this dark light, and with this big truck and old Willie driving it, nope, we preset them a little bit, but they are not fully burnished and cooked in. In any event, There it is. It's done. Have fun, y'all. Buy some smaller cars. Them wheels and tires is way too heavy to deal with today.